Hello friends, today we are going to discuss about power bipolar junction transistor. As we all discussed about power diode, so the term power gets included with any power semiconductor device because when we use power diode or power BJT, that means it is capable of handling high voltage and high current, and again it is very fast because the reverse recovery time is very low. So now friends, let's talk about power bipolar junction transistor. Now friends, what is a power transistor? Power transistor is a transistor which is capable of handling high voltage and high current. Again, the recovery time or the transistor is very fast. That means the reverse recovery time is very less, which consequence a very fast operation of a power transistor. So there are three basic type of power transistor which is widely being used in any electrical circuit. Number one is a power MOSFET, number two is a power BJT, and number three is a power IGBT. So friends, today let's start with the power bipolar junction transistor. So friends, we all know there are two types of transistor. Number one, NPN. Number two is a PNP. So let's draw the symbolic diagram and the junction diagram of an NPN and a PNP transistor. We all know there are two types of transistors. One is NPN and one is PNP. So let's draw the symbolic and the junction diagram of an NPN and a PNP transistor. So friends, here this is the symbolic diagram of an NPN transistor and this is the symbolic diagram of a PNP transistor. Here, in case of an NPN transistor, we all are very familiar with this transistor. B is called base, C is the collector, E is the emitter. For PNP transistor, again B is the base, C is the collector, E is the emitter. But in case of an NPN transistor, the direction of the flow would be from the collector to emitter or away from the symbolic diagram in this direction. Again, for PNP, it's exactly opposite, which is inside the base or inside the diagram. Now, here, we all know a transistor consists of two diodes. Now, let's draw the transistor including two diodes. So let's see how a transistor is constructed using two diodes. So friends, if you can see this figure in NPN transistor, here there are two diodes which is connected, base, collector and emitter, and the face of the diode or the diode are facing opposite to each other. That means two anodes are connected in one terminal and cathodes are, one cathode is connected to the collector and one cathode is connected to the emitter, or this is called the emitter terminal and this is called the collector terminal. Now in case of PNP transistor, now the cathode of two diodes are connected with each other, which is the base terminal, and this is the collector and this is the emitter terminal. Now a power BJT, as we all know, in case of a power diode, a diode is called a power diode if it is capable of withstanding high electric current and high electric voltage, and the response of the diode is very fast, or the switching operation of the diode is very fast. Likewise, a bipolar junction transistor can be referred or can be called as a power bipolar junction transistor if it is capable of withstanding high electric current and high electric voltage. A transistor is called as a power bipolar junction transistor if it is capable enough for holding or withstanding high amount of electric current and high amount of electric voltage. So as we discussed earlier, in case of power diode, the criteria of a diode or criteria of a power diode of withstanding high amount of current and high amount of voltage is because of the N minus layer. Because of the N minus layer, as we all know, the space carrier charge becomes a bit thicker. That's the reason it makes a diode capable of handling high current and high voltage. Likewise, for a power bipolar junction transistor, because of the N minus region or because of the heavily doped P type and heavily doped N type of semiconductor, which consequences N minus region, because of which the space charge carrier region becomes a bit thicker, and because of that it is capable of handling high amount of electric current and high amount of electric voltage. Again, if you can see this transistor, for example an NPN transistor or PNP transistor, these kind of transistor or these kind of bipolar junction transistors are capable of handling high electric current, high electric voltage, and in addition to that, the response of this kind of transistors are very fast. That means it has got very less reverse recovery time, which consequences this kind of devices can be easily used in any high frequency applications or very fast switching applications. Now friends, if we talk a bit deeper way, for a power bipolar junction transistor, which can be applied or which can be used in various applications. For example, so because of its fast switching operation or because of its high response and fast switching application, it can be used in any power converter circuit or in any power converter electrical circuit, which can be operated in a very high frequency application or in a very high frequency criteria. It can be used in any electric motor control drive. It can be used in a very high noisy signal applications. So now friends, we will be discussing how it works. As I explained you earlier, the main application of bipolar junction transistor of handling a lot of electric current and very high amount of electric voltage is because of the N minus region. So as we all experience in case of power diode, because of the N minus region present, the thickness of the space charge region increases, because of which the transistor is capable of handling high amount of electric current and high amount of electric voltage. So friends, now for a power bipolar junction transistor and a normal bipolar junction transistor, the difference would be a normal bipolar junction transistor can be used in many applications, but the amount of electric current and the amount of electric voltage that a normal bipolar junction transistor can withstand is extremely less compared to a power bipolar junction transistor. Number one, because of the presence of N minus layer. Number two, because of the heavily doped N plus and P plus semiconductor. And number three would be the thicker space charge carrier region. One more application would be the power bipolar junction transistor can be used in a very fast switching operation, and it can be used in a very high frequency operation. But a normal bipolar junction transistor can be used in a low switching operation or a comparatively slow switching operation and in a very slow application processes. And the third application of a power bipolar junction transistor would be a power bipolar junction transistor can be used, or it has a very high tendency to produce the least reverse recovery time, unlike the normal bipolar junction transistor. Thank you so much friends for watching this video. Please subscribe to Ekeeda and stay tuned with Ekeeda. Thank you so much.